Hello, beautiful souls. It's Kelly here from Energetically Inspired. So today I was just going to reflect on finding your essence, right? And what that is. So to me, our essence is like our soul's blueprint, sort of like the underlining foundational values that we carry. And a lot of the time when we look at values, a lot of people don't look at values from the space of what our soul, what's aligned to us, right? And how do we discover this? Because a lot of people's values come through their beliefs, through society, through what they were taught to be, right? But not really connecting back to their truest essence, right? What makes them inspired, what's their passion, right? What they love to talk about. Sometimes we don't even really know that. Hey, Josh. Sometimes we don't really even know that. And this kind of reflects for me, the discovery of this came through my darkest times, right? Which I'm kind of calling like our beautiful destruction of ourselves, right? Because when we're going through a massive death or destruction period throughout our lives, this is the moment where we can really change everything. We've got the ability to do something different, to unveil, to rebirth ourselves, right? And in reflection to every part of my darkest moments in my lives, right, well, the things that really upset me and really hurt me the most have become the seeds I planted, have become really my soul's essence, right? I found that that was my soul unveiling my truth. Yes, a blessed afternoon. And so this part of it, right, is when I looked at the space of like my transformation, right, was finding myself as now a big part of what I do and who I share and what I do is my work, right? But healing myself from all the pain I was going through that constant fight and flight, right? Not knowing who I was anymore, right? That discovery of self, discovery of me, uncovering the masks I hid in, always feeling like I was judged and, could never really just be me and be comfortable with me, right? And this was all part of my self-discovery, right? And then it's all become my biggest thing in life, what I love to do, right? So all of that destruction and really deep pain that I went through ended up becoming the unveiling of me, the unveiling of my essence, the unveiling of my blueprint, my soul's expression, right? And all that was happening to me, all those painful moments, which they class as a Kensho experience, was all there and designed around that space. So this is where I want to take you guys into, sitting down and working out through every pit of pain that you have been through, journaling that pain. What was that pain? Have you learnt the lessons from that? What did you gain? What when I say gain, like usually there's some sort of inspiration behind that we want something to be better. We want to do something better. We want to feel better. We want to give more, right? A big one for me is fairness, compassion, people having compassion and openness and understanding, right? Not being so judgmental and reactive, but more proactive, right? And this is a big difference, right? When we're going through this space, is learning how are we in this space? Are we being proactive with this destructional periods, or are we being reactive still? Because if we're reactive, we haven't actually learnt the blessing in what's happened to us. And so many are going through some deep, deep pain at the moment, right? And if you take on these words, right, your pain is going to lead you to the discovery of what your soul's trying to show you. If you're open to that, if you're willing to see the lessons, if you're willing to heal or embrace that and step into changing something and change and experience that's coming through that. Because if you don't, that cycle will continue to happen. Your soul will continue to do things to make its purpose is here to lead you to your connection and essence again. So you know, for me, it was also like the lack of stuff when I was a child, right? Like, not meaning I had lots of love and things like that, but we didn't have a lot of money, right? So having that freedom of choice, right? Even now, the freedom to be able to make those choices that are best for me. Self-love. Well, you know, I didn't have that. I was so judgmental on myself. So helping people find that self-love for themselves, right? Being able to speak your truth. Because so long I didn't, because I was scared that, you know, people were going to judge me, or, you know, and I didn't love myself enough to honor that, right? So every bit of my pain in the past has become a huge part of what I share and do and work in. And when I connect to that place of my essence and providing that for others and helping guide people in that space, everything flows. My life is amazing. There's so much beauty coming into my life that my heart's desires are being fulfilled, right? Things flow easily. I mean, there's still moments where we go through chaos, right? That's natural. It's a cycle in life, but that doesn't mean the chaos is not something you can step through, right? It's always about uncovering a new, you know, new part. So I had a little bit of that happen recently, and I seen some old stuff that I needed to address, right? That hadn't been addressed. And that's just understanding more of what I'm showing other people and healing and helping other people with, right? So I just, you know, the whole thing for me was when I worked out my values, and when I call my values the foundational values, not mixed up in my beliefs. That was my essence, right? And that gave me everything to move forward. And that changed my life, because knowing my essence and knowing my values allowed me to peel off all the rest of the stuff. And I've expressed this before. Then learn, is it a fear-based something that I'm being reactive to, or am I being proactive because that's something I believe in and want change for, right? Or is it because of old trauma that I'm still having that reflection of the old trauma and still living connected to my past, and that's still got some fear, right? You know, all these things, the beliefs of society, right? If it's not directly associated to my essence, well, then I've been conditioned to think that way, right? Is it aligned? So when I connected to my values, my foundational values, everything else was able to be looked at in a different view. But before I knew what those values were, I was confused. I was not sure what was me and what was beliefs and what was trauma and what was, you know, it was just hard because there was no clarity. But when I could find one massive part of clarity, the rest of it could fall away easily. So I encourage you all to dive deep into finding out, what are your foundational values? Who are you at your core essence, right? Who is the blueprint behind you in this minute? Because that is going to change everything you do in your life. It's going to give you purpose, passion, excitement. It's going to fill your heart and allow you to flow with life, flow with what you are meant to be doing. So do see that the beautiful destructional periods, these death and rebirthing, is beautiful in its essence, right? And that's a Sagittarius experience. When we have the Kensho is the pain, and the Sagittarius is seeing the beauty, right? And we can choose to continue to have Sagittarius experiences. So when I have pain and all that arising, I know, and I'm embracing that and excited about the new layer that's going to be peeled off, because there's a new level of me to be found. And so, you know, when you see that and see that transformation and see what changes in your life and feel that passion in your life and excitement and love and you know, you just feel fucking good, right? Everything else is going to fall away. So I encourage you, go find your value, sit down and journal it, work out what those pain points are, and work out what you should, why, like the reflection of that, you know, when I was judged that I wanted acceptance, but why was I judged? Because I allowing my judgment of self, so I didn't have that self-love, right? So there's a reflection in this. And find the categories. They usually are like spirituality and transformation and growth, and all these things kind of started mixing together for me. So go and see what you can do, because it's what I teach in my programs, right? Is the self-discovery, like going inwards and finding ourselves. How do we heal ourselves, and how do we find and grow and create purpose? But you can do this, and I did it myself, right? Sometimes it's great to have a safe container and have everything provided to you, but you can do this. I did it. There's no reason why you can't too. So, go. I'm encouraging you guys to go find yourselves. Feels great. I can wear plaits now in my hair and feathers and be like, this is me. Take me as I am. And I'm awesome. That's how much self-love I have, right? I can say that and not feel like I'm vain, because I'm not at all. I'm very not that way, but I am awesome and I rock it. All right, guys, love yous, love and light.